Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome back to another edition of Football Theory. I'm lifetime Longhorn Rod Davis, joined by the coach, former high school football coach at Bernie, Capel, Rotan, Brownwood, Belton, played college football at Abilene Christian, also coached there in multiple stints, as on the staff at the University of Texas for multiple stints, for multiple coaches. He is a man of many talents. You can find his work these days at shipleyranches.com. And now, the man, you can't see the background, but he's in one of the most beautiful, picturesque places in the world, in the Bahamas. What's up, Coach? How you doing, Coach?
Yeah, man, just living the dream, baby. On an anniversary trip out here. Saturday's a big anniversary, so my wife and I are out here living the tough life, man. We're sitting there. I said, I wonder what those poor people back home are doing right now.
Hey, dealing with the heat and the humidity, but at least you got the heat too. But you got a beach. A beautiful beach right outside.
Oh, it is. It is beautiful. I'll be paying for this one until the next anniversary, I'm afraid. But it's all good, Coach, man.
It's worth it. You can't take it with you. It's worth it, Coach. You can't take it with you, man. Spend that money, enjoy that. It's a beautiful thing. All right. So we're glad Coach could join us. So we're not going to keep Coach too long because he's in the Bahamas. So we're glad we got you here for Football Theory just for a little while. Before we get started, we got to thank our wonderful sponsor. We are very grateful for Laura Baker and the Andy Allen team. Football Theory is brought to you by accomplished Austin realtor Laura Baker. Laura and the Andy Allen team at Keller Williams can handle all of your real estate needs in the Austin area. Laura is not only a diehard Longhorn fan, but a longtime Austin real estate expert. Give her a shout today at 512-784-0505. That's 512-784-0505. All right, Coach, we're going to talk about something close to my heart. Longhorn fans who know me very well know I've been really advocating that Texas use this concept more and more, even since the Tom Herman days. And I think this season we may see more of it. It is the pony package, the two tailback set that I love so much. That's so close to my heart. I spoke to Trey Wisner earlier this week, and Trey, and you know, I didn't want him to give me details because I know we're not trying to divulge too much. That's kind of inside info. But based on my conversation with Trey Wisner, I do believe we will see more of the pony package, the two tailback sets, and we'll see Trey Wisner involved in some of those two tailback sets. But Coach, I was actually, I've been tracking this for a while. And it actually is amazing because when I started tracking it was during Tom Herman's tenure. And, I became fascinated with two tailback sets because of my boy Shano, one of my best friends in the world, Kyle Shanahan. They run 21 personnel more than anybody in the NFL. They run it with a modern fullback in Kyle Juszczyk, who's basically kind of a tailback, kind of a hybrid player. And so I started studying how effective it is because he told me, he's like, listen, teams don't practice against two tailback sets. And when you present power personnel packages, it allows you to pivot to play action pants principles and put teams in matchup disadvantages. So I started studying it as a football theorist. And I started noticing how Texas was very successful, high success rates, high explosive play rates out of 21 personnel and out of two tailback sets, even when it's 20 personnel. And Sark's first year, he came out actually, and this is something I documented because his first series calling plays at the University of Texas, he came out in 21 personnel.
I didn't realize that.
Came out in 21 personnel. It was something that it made me become a Sark fan instantly. I was like, this man looks at the game the same way I do. And by the way, Sark, he likes the pony package because when he followed my boy Shanahan in Atlanta in 2017 as their OC, he did not want to transition away from the Shanahan offense cold turkey coach. So what he did was, instead of the 21 personnel with the fullback, he used two tailbacks. He used Devontae, I believe it was Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman were the running backs he used, and it worked out really well for him in terms of that transition. He brought that to Texas with him and used it with Roschon and Bijan. Roschon and Bijan were great out of the two tailback sets in the pony package. And what I assumed, coaches, when Bijan and Rojo left, so with the productivity associated with that personnel grouping. And I was wrong. Actually, the pony package was more effective post Bijan and Rojo than it was even with Bijan and Rojo. So I want your thoughts as a coach. What is it, and what are we missing potentially about two tailback sets and 21 personnel, 20 personnel that may be giving Texas an advantage conceptually and schematically when it comes to this personnel grouping?
Well, when I was in college at Abilene Christian, I was one of two backs in the backfield, but they called that the donkey package.
Yeah.
Because I was the fullback, and they knew I wasn't going to take it to the house. But seriously, I love the pony package like you. You got two guys back there that can both take it to the house. You got guys back there that can do multiple things with reverses, with motions, with screens, with all those things. And with the offensive line that we're going to have this next season, I think the pony package is a great idea. Obviously, when you look at the number of talented receivers we have, you got to pull somebody off the field to do that. Now, whether it's a tight end or a wide receiver, it will vary and will probably be both at some times just to mix it up a little bit. But man, you have your whole arsenal when you do that. If you ask me, you can attack the perimeter on either side without even doing much motion shifting and all that stuff, So I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to see, especially since you've got a little inside scoop on the fact that they're probably going to be running some more pony package next year. That gets me, as an old running back, that gets me fired up too. I think it's going to be a wonderful scheme for us.
Yeah, and I think it also, because one of those running backs has got to be a blocker at times, right? An insert blocker when they have running, no matter what the running concept they're going to run. And that's why I think Jaden Blue, I believe, is up to 213 pounds, somewhere around there. Essentially, Baxter has put on some more a little bit more mass, but more muscle, because at times those guys might have to be the block. That's why Rojo was so great at that. But that's what I also love about it. It displays kind of the versatility of the running backs back there, because this is what Nick Saban said. Nick Saban said, depending on the skill set of the running backs, the diversity of their skill set in the personnel grouping, it makes it really tough to defend. He said, first of all, you don't practice against it a lot because you practice against spread sets most of the time. He said, and what he is annoyed by, and this is, I said, Nick Saban was asked about it, so I pulled up his quote, and I'm paraphrasing here. He said that oftentimes, and Sark does this too, they'll use the Y as another back in the backfield, and he says they turn into 3-back runs, which totally throws off the keys, he says, a lot of times, of the linebackers and the guys in the front. And he also says when you add split, you get kind of the cross blocks to that, and you add some of the different cross blocks and some of the misdirection with that. He said it can really be dangerous in terms of occupying the eyes of the guys on the second level. So this is Nick Saban, the greatest defensive coach of all time at the college level, saying, no, it's a problem potentially because you have extra blockers in the running game. He said the keys are different. He said the formations are different. There was actually a time where he claimed that his defense didn't know how to line up against an I formation because it was so unfamiliar to these guys because they are spread babies. And this is what I love about it. This comes from studying it with Shanahan. Teams are either going to match your power personnel, 21 personnel, 2 backs, 1 tight ends, 20 personnel, 2 backs, 0 tight ends. They're going to match it with their own run-first defenders or run-oriented defenders. And then if they do that, then you have matchup advantages, especially if you got Jaden Blues in the backfield, especially if you got a really skilled tight end, because then you'll have run defenders in pass coverage matchup disadvantages. But if they decide to use sub packages, nickel packages or dime packages against your 21 personnel, then great. You can just actually run it down their throat because you do have the mass advantage and you do have the advantage up front in the numbers. So it is a pick your poison scenario with teams too when it comes to the pony package. And remember last year in the Sugar Bowl, how did Texas score? What was their first touchdown? Running the pony package. They had that first series that they looked like they were a little out of it. They looked like they were a little disheveled, and they came out in the pony package and went right down the field and scored their first touchdown against Washington. And I don't know why, but I believe after that touchdown drive, Sark only used the pony package 2 other plays for the rest of the game. So it was in his script. He knew that Washington was susceptible to it. And he ran it down their throat, and they went down to score a touchdown. And for some reason, I don't know why, they didn't come back to it as much as they should have. I like leftovers, coach, and I like to play the hits. when I got something that work or something that's good, we gonna eat them leftovers. Sark don't like leftovers. I don't think he likes to take hits. He's living good, so he wants something new and fresh. But sometimes, hey, run it till they stop it. And I don't know. Washington was going to have some trouble with that pony package. But anyway, I digress. It is easily the most effective, most efficient, and the most explosive personnel grouping that Texas runs, and it has been for the last 3 years. That has been the case.
Yeah. Well, I think it also plays into, you and I have talked about this several times on Football Theory, the versatility that Sark likes to recruit. He likes to recruit players that are very versatile. Now, you talking about that tight end as a possible running back, does that not fit Amari Niblack perfectly? I mean, the guy has got the speed of a running back at the tight end. It could be a very dangerous thing. I wasn't even thinking in those terms until you just brought it up. And of course, I thought about Niblack, and I thought, man, how long has it been since we've had a tight end with that kind of athletic ability and speed? I mean, it's been a while, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. Yep. You're right about that. And Sark, he wants that. He wants a speedster at that tight end for some of those tight end screens he likes to run. But some of the split flow. And that's kind of what he did with JT Sanders. I'll say this, and this is true. JT Sanders was in motion as much, if not more, than any player in the Power Five. I mean, he was in motion at like a top 5 rate, constantly shifting, moving him around. And oftentimes, like Nick Saban said, he was involved in the backfield action. He'd end up as an H-back sometimes and end up involved in that split flow and some of those cross blocks. So I understand exactly what Nick Saban is talking about how difficult and really just how confusing the backfield action can be when you have that many keys that are moving a different way. It almost brings you back to kind of some triple option days about being disciplined with your eyes and being disciplined reading your keys. But just so you know, for everybody out there, the explosive pass play rate for Texas last season on offense was around 16.8%. So close to 17% of their plays in the passing game were explosive plays. Explosive run rate for Texas was 19%. So about 19% of their runs were explosive plays. You go look at their explosive play rate in the last 3 years out of 2 tailback sets in a pony package, Coach. You were at 16% in 2021, 23, almost 24% in 2022, and 23% in 2023.
That's amazing.
With Bijan, with Rojo, without Bijan, without Rojo, without Jay Brooks. Sometimes it was Jaden Blue and CJ Baxter in there. So we've had now 6 running backs that have been a part of this sample size. Bijan, Rojo, Keelan Robinson's in there. Jonathan Brooks is in there. CJ Baxter's in there. Jaden Blue is in there. And Coach, it has tracked every year. Still, your yards per attempt is your highest yards per attempt, your highest yards per rush, your highest yards per play, and your highest explosive play rates are all out of the pony package. Run it more.
Yeah, I think we will. And here's another thing about it, Rod. As a defensive back, you understand this. When you go to a pony look like that with a pony package, 2 tailbacks back there, it changes the way the defense is going to line up.
Yep.
And so you can also get the defense to line up. There's not a lot of different ways they're going to line up in that. They're probably going to have a check to the pony package, maybe 2 checks, and it may give you the look you want from an offensive standpoint. It may give you the defensive look that you want to attack a certain thing. It could even be throwing the ball. But our backs are so versatile; they're great receivers. Well, what do you do when you got both backs that are flaring out? Then you got a fast tight end coming over the middle. You're going to have to get rid quick. You don't have a back there blocking, but you're gonna eliminate. They're going to evacuate the middle of the field because they have to respect those guys because we run those plays so well, those screens and flares so well that it just adds a whole nother dimension. I'm with you 100%, Rod. I think it's something that we need to see more of, and we will see more of. And I wish there was a way you could maybe break all those stats down and send it up to the
they got him, Coach. He got him, Coach. Okay. That's why I know we're gonna see more of it. That's why I know because Coach is wise.
He's very wise. Yeah.
I'll also say this. Sark has always said the most underutilized weapon in the passing game is the running back. He's been saying that since his time at Alabama. So that's going to your point, Coach. That stockpiling all that talent in that running back room, he plans on using it and put it. That's how you can recruit more of them. If you can say, hey guys, we play 2 running backs at the same time. It ain't just one guy all the time. Sometimes we play 2 you guys at the same time. I think that also helps you in recruiting a little bit. All right, let's thank our sponsor one more time before we get out of here. Football Theory brought to you by accomplished Austin realtor Laura Baker. Laura and the Andy Allen team at Keller Williams can handle all of your real estate needs in the Austin area. Laura is not only a diehard Longhorn fan, but a longtime Austin real estate expert. So please give her a shout today at 512-784-0505. That's 512-784-0505. All right, Coach, thank you for the wisdom. As always leave very smarter football fan and theorist as a result of you. So thanks, Coach. Appreciate that. Appreciate you.
Hey, man, my pleasure. Glad to be on, even though I got paradise waiting outside for me.
Yeah, go enjoy it for me, Coach. I'm living vicariously through you.
Oh, yeah. Somebody's going to look up there and say, beast whale. It's a beast whale. Somebody push him back in the water. I'm good.
Hey, Coach, go out there and show out. Show off the old man dad bod, the granddad bod. It's all good.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot more of somebody's than I need to be seeing out there. My goodness, some of the people haven't looked in the mirror, especially from the rear end, with some of these bikinis they're wearing. I'm like, have you seen the dent doctor lately?
No shame, Coach. Hey, they got no shame. I wish I was that confident. I'm not even that confident, Coach. I'm not even. All right, Coach, please enjoy your vacation, Coach, and thank you very much for the time. Thanks to my man Matthew behind the scenes. Thank you for you guys for joining another edition of Football Theory. Thank you to Laura Baker for all of her support as well. Until next time, same channel. Hook 'em horns.